I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, it can't get worse, right?
We? Who's we? There is no we.
Well, here's I have been summoned. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I'm back for another video discussing Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, the brand new IP from Naughty Dog. Well guys, it has been 5 years since we have gotten a brand new title from Naughty Dog, and we do know that, as I've said in previous videos, I don't believe the game is anywhere near release at this current juncture, but I do expect us to be seeing something soon. If I said where it's going to release, I predicted 2027, and every sign has pointed to that. But recently, a lot of new stuff has come out of the woodworks in regards to this title. We have a lot of new information and things to discuss, and a lot of bad news. Of course, there's never usually good news when it comes to Naughty Dog in recent memory. I mean, my last video, we discussed QA jobs that hinted, hey, QA's begun, so they're in the final stages, but that could take anywhere between months to even years to get all that finished. And, you know, it's been nearly a year since we got the reveal trailer for this game. Neil Druckmann had promised in recent years that when they announce games, it won't be far too long from release. It appears that may have been a little lie based on what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And trust me, I want part 3. I want other stuff, but this is what's first. This is what Naughty Dog's focusing on. And by the time I show you guys everything that's been discussed in this video, I'll have a lot to say. Because yes, I think a little rant is needed, and a little dialogue with everybody here is of course needed. We're gonna get straight into everything. This is a pretty significant update, I would say. Just some stuff out of the woodworks that we've gotten. So if you guys do enjoy this, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content covering this game and anything Naughty Dog publishes in the near future. We go for 1,000 likes, and that's really appreciate it. Make sure to join the 30% of you are subscribing. The subscribe button, notification bell, have it set to all, and join the 102,000 people that have elections around the channel. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Go follow my social media down below: Twitter, Discord, join our Discord server to discuss the game with us, and make sure to follow me on Twitch and TikTok. Get straight into it. The PS5 Gen for Naughty Dog has been an L, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all are probably like, wow, he's actually criticizing. Like, listen, I've been very critical of Naughty Dog in the past several years, especially regarding the canceled Last of Us multiplayer game, which I think was the biggest mistake they've ever made. But again, I understand they want to stay a single player studio. I just don't think that had to be the decision. I think you could have given it to another studio, or could have had 50 to 100 people at Naughty Dog and said, hey, if you guys are passionate about this, go into finishing it with another studio, and they could have done that. But that game gets canceled. We've had a remaster / port of Uncharted. We've had Part 1 remake and Part 2 remastered, and then PC ports for both of them. In essence, nothing new in 5 years, half a decade, and we have nothing new to show. There has been not a single new game for the PS5 Gen. The Last of Us Part 2 came out 5 years ago. Almost gonna be 6 in June, this upcoming June. Alright, so as to a surprise to nobody, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, not releasing in 2026, claim insiders. Again, I told everybody that this was going to be the case. It's not gonna come out next year, and I had literally no reason to believe it, even though there's been a couple of hopium job posts. So, after an earlier claim or belief, depending on how you want to look at it, stating otherwise, some insiders have started to say that Intergalactic Heretic Prophet is not coming out in 2026. In addition, it won't be in attendance at the Game Awards 2025, which to me is an indictment. I think when you say that you're going to be announcing games close to release, and usually what you do is show stuff every year after said announcement, now you're telling me we're going to get nothing. No gameplay, no nothing. I mean, listen, if you look around the dialogue around this game in the past year, it has been pretty much everybody, a majority of people, dunking on the game. And again, it's only been a 4-minute trailer. I think, man, this game has the potential to be really, really good. But of course, when you look online and see all the videos on YouTube and go through everything, it's just everyone complaining about it being woke, garbage, whatever you want. And I'm just sick of that. That's why I want to see something new. Get something out there to the public that people can finally say, like, woo! Like, this pumps me up about this game. But unfortunately, we have to play the waiting game again. Last year at the Game Awards, Naughty Dog revealed its next title, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. The sci-fi set fantasy looked way different than previous studio titles, minus some more faces. Hype for the title has been palpable, so when former gaming journalist Colin Moriarty appeared to claim the game would release in 2026, many were excited. However, it seems it would be short-lived, as credible insiders have come to debunk the report, including Moriarty himself. So, according to insider Jeff Grubb, it will not be shown at the Game Awards. I sympathize with being misquoted. He was speculating and people on the internet pretended he wasn't. Either way, this caused people to confirm to me it won't be out in 2026 and it won't be at TGA's. I'm not interested in keeping score on who said what right on a podcast, and Jeff Grubb is a pretty credible source. After Moriarty's comments went viral, some insiders quickly hopped into social media to debunk the report of Intergalactic releasing 26. The first to do so was Jason Schreier, a notable name in the gaming industry. So he, as well as Jeff Grubb, had stated no to 2026. And he stated, "Can assure you that Intergalactic is not coming out in 2026. And right there, can assure you that Intergalactic is not coming out in 2026. Can't comment on who other people talk to. I can assure that Intergalactic is coming out in 2026 because people familiar with the game's development timeline have told me that it's not coming out in 2026. So, for those unfamiliar with journalism speak, people familiar with the game development timeline means that Jason has been told this off the record by someone senior at Naughty Dog. This is as explicit as he can get within professional guidelines. He said, sorta, heal means more than one. I almost never report anything without multiple sources, and if I do, it'll be clear. And it doesn't necessarily mean people senior at Naughty Dog, just people who are somehow aware of the game's development timeline. And then someone had asked, just curious, do you agree with the rest of Colin's comments, or at least with the sentiment that the game is further along than we might have expected? And he just said, no. Then video game journalist and insider Jeff Grubb posted on Twitter that not only Intergalactic would not be coming out in 2026, but it also won't be at the Game Awards this year. Following suit, Moriarty commented on social media that his words used in the report were taken out of context and that it was his opinion. Either way, it does look like Intergalactic Prophet will be quite a while away. Neil Druckmann himself, who's directing the game, couldn't confirm when we'd see the title again. It will be interesting to see when more will come out. It would be exciting to watch gameplay. In May, Druckmann confirmed that Naughty Dog is working on a second game, which he said he was acting more as a producer and mentor on. Perhaps that game will be announced and launched first. I'm starting to think maybe that game, which we think might be a little Uncharted spin-off, you know, something like that, might come out first. Maybe next year. I don't know. I'm just, like, confused at this point. Still, the reminder that Naughty Dog's big new IP is still years away has come as a disappointment to some. Should Intergalactic launch in 2027, it will have been 7 years since the launch of The Last of Us Part 2. All they did in the PS4 era, they did The Last of Us Remastered, they did Uncharted 4, Lost Legacy, and Part 2. PS5 Gen, as I just said. A remake, a remaster / port, and a remaster. Nothing really big. Nothing new. Guy comment on Twitter, I'm for all letting the devs cook, but this is the absolute worst generation for Naughty Dog. Last of Us Part 2 dropped in 2020, and all we've gotten are bare bones remasters, an unnecessary remake, cancel multiplayer, and waiting almost a decade for a new game. Listen, this guy is not wrong. Let him cook. Again, you're right, we did announce Uncharted 4 and Last of Us Part 2 way in advance, but they actually caused a little bit of work-life balance issues that we've sometimes had at the studio. By delaying that announcement a bit, we could play with the schedule more, and we're more conscious now about how we're approaching production. And also recently, Troy Baker has made some comments about Intergalactic. So he was asked by comicbook.com about the game. So with that said, comicbook.com got to sit down with Troy Baker for an exclusive conversation about his role in the new reboot of Screamer. However, I couldn't resist asking at least one question about Intergalactic, knowing how precious PlayStation and Naughty Dog are about keeping things under wraps. I didn't go for any spoilers or big juicy details. Instead, I asked him about reuniting with Neil Druckmann, who have worked together on 3 games prior to this, but they have a unique working relationship. They're both very passionate about their work, and it can lead to very heated debates during production. Though, all in the name of making sure they're telling the best story possible. With Intergalactic being a brand new IP and Baker's character being a supporting one instead of a protagonist, I asked him if there's less heightened opinions on this one, or if he and Druckmann are still butting heads. Baker laughed and noted that they're very much still having their typical passionate clashes. We did 2 weeks ago, man. Neil and I will always. It's our vibe, said Baker. We just love to butt up against each other. We were doing a table read, and I was really like, why are you giving me shit right now? I'm asking you a question, and then everybody else is like, our mom and dad are fighting. Are we still going to Disneyland? We're fine. We're fine. And speaking of the fact that he isn't the main character in Galactic, Baker takes comfort in the fact that he can be a piece in the very large puzzle of game development and wants to be someone that others can work with. I've had a hell of a career. The industry owes me nothing. What a ride. I don't think that I deserve or need it anymore, he says, but I am enjoying it now. Now that I understand more about game development, I enjoy the process more than I do the credit. In some of my games that I look back and go, man, I learned so much on that, and they were not Game of the Year contenders. There's no BAFTA nomination tells you with it. My reward was in more ephemeral qualities than money and accolades or even recognition, so I'm enjoying the position I have, which I still feel is a very important position with Intergalactic. I mean, if you want to take any context in that, Neil and him are just very much arguing about the game, but they're doing, like, table reads still. So that is another sign that this game is nowhere near being finished. Ah! User Detective Seeds on Twitter had tweeted, I reached out to a Naughty Dog contact through LinkedIn and asked them a couple questions. Nothing crazy. So they claim, that this person in Naughty Dog claims that the game in scope is 2 times larger than Last of Us Part 2. We already knew this was a large project. Game is targeting 2027, but this is a fluid target at the moment, meaning it could change. Oh lord, please. Localization completion timeframe is on par with Last of Us Part 2. Has begun in most languages, but some have not started yet. Can't confirm this through job openings. And also, deeper RPG elements where decisions will impact parts of the game. Naughty Dog wanted to do this to open their players to deeper immersion in the story. Choices? In Naughty Dog game? Oh. Ooh. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do, but man, I don't know. And they also say it's being prepared for PS5 release. So, if all this what I've read has been true, guys, that will mean when Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet releases, it will be right at the end of the PS5 generation. Because think about it. PS6 is going to be out around 27, 28. And man, that means Naughty Dog will have accomplished the feat of releasing one game in 7 years. One game. One new game. It better be, man, it better be just something. Because if it ain't, man, huh. Look at it this way, though. We'd have that, then the unannounced game, and then part 3. And then who knows what else they could end up doing. But I'm not gonna lie when I say, yeah, I am very disappointed. If we don't end up getting anything at the Game Awards, I'd be pretty disappointed. I kind of expected the whole 2027 thing. But man, we do need to see some more stuff on this game because you're just gonna keep getting dunked on at this point. You've got fans that are already alienated, that are angry about the long wait. You've got the people complaining about that they've seen nothing. They think it's product placement. They think it's woke, whatever the... You know, you're not gonna convince those people. And if you show some gameplay, maybe you can get some people on board with it. But at the end of the day, you're getting attacked from both sides of the spectrum. There are people like myself, of course, that are like, let them cook. Let them take the time they need. But at the same time, this gen has been an L. I hope they get this out before the end of the PS5 gen, because if you're only going to give me one game by the time the PS6 comes out, or not even one, it's a shame. But this is going to be their Last of Us Part 2 for the gen. The final bang for the PS5. The only bang that Naughty Dog will give for the PS5. Which is very disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing. And honestly, people are going to ask me, do I think it's going to show up at the Game Awards? Now, if I'm willing to bet, I was going to say yes, but I'm going to say no, and I do hope that I'm wrong and that these credible sources are wrong as well, but I'm not going to bet against them. So don't go in the expectations of the game showing up. Maybe we'll be surprised. I mean, I was surprised last year, so maybe we'll get surprised again, but honestly not expecting it. So when are we going to hear stuff, guys? That's really the question y'all are going to ask me, and I'm going to probably say spring or summer of next year. Remember, Wolverine and Saros are coming out, so I wouldn't expect anything too soon. But spring or summer, I'm hoping. We'll see. But they still got a long ways to go, so... Naughty Dog, let you cook, but I'm very disappointed. I'm very annoyed. I am going to continue to wait, because I do feel this game will deliver in the end. And that's all I can really say on that. I mean, I can rant and go on and on about this, but gotta let them cook. So guys, when do you think Intergalactic Heretic Prophet's going to release in 2027? My guess would be spring. We'll just have to wait and see on that. When do you think we're going to see some new stuff? Trailer, gameplay, new information? We'll wait and see on that. Drop a like and subscribe for more content covering this game. We'll go for 1,000 likes on this video. Really appreciate it. Of all my social media below, stay connected with us. And make sure you guys do remember, if you want extra perks and be more connected with me and my community. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.